Hello, Maddie here. Thank you for coming back for another week, another book here on my channel. Happy 2026. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I don't know. I feel like my setup, I know I've done this setup for a long time, but it just feels, I don't know, it feels kind of off. Also, I am breaking out like crazy. I am very tired. Not so much like physically, but just like mentally and emotionally with life at the moment, which is fine. It's fine. We're here. It's great. We are talking about Tramp for the Lord by Corrie Ten Boom because I wanted to start off the year with a book that I feel like matters, a book that's more than just cute and fun. And while we love those books, I really want to I want to have some videos that kind of speak more to my roots as like person, I guess. And I feel like this is a book that got introduced to my life pretty young. I don't know. It's a book that matters. It's a book that its contents affect even like people even today. That's what I want to talk about today. Let me read a quick synopsis and then we'll get into it. For the past 20 years, Corrie Ten Boom has crisscrossed the globe, slept in more than 1,000 different beds, and lived out of suitcases, all to fulfill her God-given mission to tell people everywhere that Jesus Christ is reality, that he lives, and that he is victor. This remarkable woman of 81 years served one time in a German concentration camp during World War II for the crime of hiding persecuted Jews and survived to tell the tale in her best-selling book, The Hiding Place. Her brush with death lent a new meaning to her life. In her own words, "My life had been given back as a gift for a purpose." After her release from the concentration camp, Corrie Ten Boom set out to become what she calls a tramp for the Lord, traveling around the world at the direction of God, proclaiming his message everywhere. And through her lifelong experiences, she has learned a few lessons in God's great class, which she shares with the readers of Tramp for the Lord. So deeply has she touched the hearts of men and women during her years of ministry that she is known as the venerable double old grandmother and taunt Corrie to them, and she in turn has been touched and taught by them. To let her introduce you to her former prison guard who asks for forgiveness, a forgiveness that come hard and with much pain. The war-crippled lawyer with a soul that was as twisted and deformed as his limbs, an African who truly followed Christ's exhortation to forgive your neighbor 70 times 7. The travel agent who learned that her ultimate destination could not be found on any map. A missionary mother whose unwanted babe ended up saving her life. All these touchingly human vignettes from her life and travels are intertwined with the unique teaching trouch that has sustained Corrie throughout her days. Just for like background, Corrie Ten Boom, so it's Corrie 10, like the number 10, Boom, like boom. And I always want to say Corrie Ten Boom and switch the M and the N. For whatever reason, I have no idea. I don't know why. So Corrie Ten Boom is a Christian Dutch who during World War II, her and her family hid Jews, were caught and sent to concentration camps. She is the only person that survived, and it is her life after the fact because she felt God kept her alive for a reason, and so she did something with it, did something about it. And she traveled all over the world, talked to so many people in so many different circumstances, including a prison guard from the concentration camp where she was. Like, that's wild. I can't even imagine that. I'm trying to think of like the person that's been the worst to me in my life, or like maybe the person that has affected me the most negatively, maybe. I don't know. It seems silly, but I just keep going back to like high school, and like I wasn't like severely bullied or anything like that, but I definitely had people that had a lot of power and used it against me, which seems excessive. And it's like, if they came asking for forgiveness, I think I could give it, mainly because like I really like my life and I still had a really good high school experience. If I'm thinking of like the worst person in my life, and that's what I can come up with, can you imagine a person that you literally saw like kill people, including kind of helping kill your family, and them coming up to you and asking for forgiveness? Could you do that? Christian or not, could you forgive them? I don't know. I think it reminds me of, I've fallen into the cliche of like true crime women who just like get weirdly obsessed with true crime. I am one of those people. I watch and consume so many hours of true crime. Some of them will go all the way through like the trial and even through like sentencing phase of what they're going to get. And like, that's often when the victim's family gets to give their impact statement. More often than not, the family doesn't forgive the person, but every once in a while, you'll get a person that does forgive their child, sibling, parent, spouse's killer, because it's usually a killing. There are very few where they're, of the true crime watch, it's very rare that the person survives, which is really terrible, but it's just that is what it is. And every once in a while you'll find a person that forgives. The interesting thing is, I feel like often the forgiveness almost isn't even for that other person. It's so that you can let go, so that you can move on, so that you aren't holding on to that hate. Yes, we should forgive people that hurt us, but not forgiving people also hurts us. Of the many lessons Corrie talks about in this book, that's one of them. That, like, yes, we're called to forgiveness, especially as Christians, because yes, she is a Christian. I am a Christian. While I don't say that in most of my videos, it is true. It is a fact. It's just a thing. And for my first video of the year, even though I know for a fact this means this video will not get pretty much any views, I want to talk about it anyways, because I think it's important to start my year off on the right step, because we all know I don't do this channel for views. I don't do any of this for views. If I did, that would be so rough. I do this because it's a thing I like doing. And so because it's just a thing I like doing, you know, my income doesn't rely on it. My social standing doesn't rely on it. None of my worth relies on how well these videos do. It's just an opportunity for me to get to talk about things that I like to talk about. And so this book is my first one for the year, being a Christian and talking about just a lot of really important lessons, and forgiveness being one of them, but also just putting yourself out there, maybe asking the weird question, doing the weird thing because that's what we're called to. She's definitely a person that, like, I don't know what I would have done if I'd ever been given a chance to meet her. So I'm pretty sure she died, I want to say, in either the 90s or early 2000s. Oh, just kidding. She died in 83, which is 10 years before I was born. So she, let's see, how old was she when she died? She was 91. Yes, 91. Born in the Netherlands, died in California, which is just kind of wild. So she died 10 years before I was born. I could have sworn she died after I was born. One, I don't know how I would have acted if I'd ever gotten to meet her, because, like, her story's so crazy. Two, I know we all like to think we'd step up, Christian or not, that we'd be able to, like, step up and, like, answer the call of, like, serving people, of loving people, because that's not just, like, a Christian thing. But, like, how many of us would actually follow through the way that she did? And I don't know if I could be one of those people, as much as I want to be and want to say that I am, and maybe I am in small ways, but, like, for her, she gave up her whatever life she could have gone back to, she didn't. And instead, she just traveled all over the world, met with so many different people. I just wanted this to be a moment to remember why I do what I do, like what my motivations are, and like what I think matters. I hope you still enjoy it. I hope you will come back throughout the year as we go over lighthearted reads. I do have another nonfiction set in this videos of batch filming so you're going to get another nonfiction in a few weeks. I wanted to add the kind of funny story of the first time I read this book. You didn't know or couldn't have guessed I was a goody two-shoes growing up. My whole family, none of us got super grounded really all that much, but I mean, I like never got grounded. I think I got grounded like maybe once, like my entire high school career. And that's because I lost my little brother, because he had no sense of fear and he would go wandering, and we had like 5 acres and I lost him. That was the only time I really got grounded. But one time I got in trouble, and my punishment was I had to read this book. That was my punishment. Maddie, go read a book. And it's funny just because, like, I already read a lot. To be fair, in high school, I definitely wasn't reading any nonfiction except for school. But one of my only punishments growing up was reading this book. So it's been with me for a very long time throughout my, reading repertoire and career. It's one of the first bigger books that I read. Not bigger, but like denser, like mentally and emotionally, but that I read. It's just kind of a funny story to go along with it. And it's a good book. The Hiding Place is also a very good book. They're both very heavy, kind of for different reasons. Because the first book obviously goes through like World War II, which is like, The second book is like Aftermath, which is like also rough. So they're very difficult for very different reasons, but they're both very well written. They're both true stories, and I highly recommend it. Again, I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. Hope you had a Happy New Year, and let's start the year off strong, remembering who we are, what we believe in, and why we're here. So, with all of that, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a great night, great week, great weekend, great month, great year. I hope you have all the greats, You're truly worthy and deserving of them. So until next time, 再见.